The first STS, following the release of both Neo Genesis and Neo Discovery, saw entirely new strategies begin to form. Gone were the days of overpowered trainer cards, and now overpowered Pokémon were taking control. However, only 3 decks would make the top cut, with one eventually standing head and shoulders above all others. In this series, James and Pat will be exploring the forgotten history of the Pokémon trading card game. Each episode, we will be examining a different historical format and uncover the secret evolution of the game. This is the history of the Pokémon trading card game. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another exciting week of the history of the Pokémon trading card game. Last week I lost to Kingdra because I bricked really hard in the third match. There shouldn't have been a third match because we don't usually do that, but we felt for your guys' pleasure we should, so technically I won, but whatever. You know, per the rules of the game, I lost. I mean, we did a 2 out of 3 where I came out ahead after losing the first game, so I can't really complain too much, right? Anyway, this week we'll be focusing on the third Super Trainer Showdown that took place on June 23rd and 24th at the New Jersey Meadowlands Convention Center. We have been here before. As time has progressed, we've been able to gather more and more information regarding these events that have taken place, because proper record keeping and a higher amount of interest drove discussion boards online to discuss said events. As such, we were actually able to locate a breakdown of the STS by Josh Goldstein, who won the 11-14 division with his Feraligatr deck, which is on the wheel today. According to his report, the day before he was playing with the other contestants, he managed to find out everyone had basically brought fire decks to counter the ubiquitous Steelix beatdown. This made it really easy for his water-focused deck to easily handle all of them, including the Steelix decks too, I might add. However, since this was before the actual event, a bunch of people picked up on this and switched to the Feraligatr decks, so it kind of exploded in popularity here, and Feraligatr became a meta-defining card. One of the interesting things to note is that Josh actually used Croconaw for a good portion of his matches, only evolving into Feraligatr later in the match to kind of close it out. He did experience an interesting wildcard match against someone who brought an Erica deck, but it was too slow for Feraligatr, and he tore it apart. His hardest match, according to him, was round 8 against a Volcano deck, which we have on the wheel today. His opponent managed to get out 2 Typhlosions and keep cycling through Arcanines, and Josh struggled to keep up. The tight matchup helped him barely clinch the win, but more importantly, Trash Exchange and Double Gust consistently won him his rounds. Hopefully, I spin this Feraligatr deck and make Josh proud. Speaking of the decks, let's get right to it. So the first deck we have on here that kind of starts out this kind of rock, paper, scissors format we're seeing is the Steelix Beatdown. Jeremy Borchardt won with this deck on the first day of the STS, so it does have some staying power. However, it kind of gets washed away by Feraligatr later on in the format. This deck focuses on bringing out Steelix, supported by Rocket Zapdos, to dish out serious damage. Steelix can wall up against most threats, while Zapdos can set up on the bench. Slowking is also in here to provide some support, as it is still played competitive at this point without the correction on its translation. The next deck we have termed Volcano. Jason Klaczynski brought this deck and managed to take second place on Sunday with this deck. Yes, that Jason Klaczynski. It is a direct counter to the Steelix strategy above, but is hard countered by the Feraligatr deck that managed to win the day. Typhlosion operates as a strong engine of recursion for Blaine's Arcanine to span Firestorm for low cost and then just basically one-shot everything in the format. An interesting tech in this deck is actually Giovanni's Nidoran, which is an option to try to counter Feraligatr, but as we'll learn in the next episode, more would be needed to take down this Titan. Then finally, we have Feraligatr. This is Josh Goldstein's list from the 11-14 division. Generally regarded as the king of modified, Feraligatr was an unstoppable engine of destruction, boasting a massive 120 HP stat along with Riptide that can easily one-shot most opponents. Combined with Trash Exchange, it is almost guaranteed that Feraligatr is going to be attacking for massive damage every turn. Eventually, Feraligatr would get phased out, but that's not for at least 2 years. As a neat kind of interaction here, this deck was relatively resistant to deck out, even with the large amount of discarding that was done. After this event, Feraligatr was regarded as basically the premier threat, and I'm hoping to spin him. And with that, let's get straight into spinning. Alright. And the worst deck on the format. I think in a vacuum, James is probably going to go for Feraligatr, so this is not that bad. And I don't really have a respin, so what am I going to do? I'll see you guys in the deck builder.
Well, last week we saw our second best of 3 where I managed to eke out a win from absolute unyielding chaos. This week, I'm hoping to blow out Pat again with one of these incredibly powerful decks here on the list. This format formed a pseudo rock, paper, scissors between metal, fire, and water. However, this linkage would be incomplete as Steelix decks couldn't as easily counter the Feraligatr decks. And the next event would see the only deck that could actually stand a chance against Feraligatr, but more on that next week. This would be the first event where trainers would actually find out the true power of Feraligatr, and when it would become a format warping super threat. However, going into this event, Steelix was actually the Pokemon that trainers were most concerned about. Generally speaking, the format was still centered around stalling out and buffing up Pokemon. The switch back to Beatdown had yet to be fully realized, until after this event. Steelix, equipped with 2 or 3 Metal Energy, was generally impervious to everything except for specifically Blaine's Arcanine. Without reliable energy removal, it was very difficult to break through Steelix with anything else. Because Steelix's power wasn't based on a Pokemon power, floodgates like Magby and Igglybuff couldn't slow it down. Therefore, I'm looking to show off Steelix's strength today on the wheel, and I hope that Pat rolls up Feraligatr so I don't get blown out by the only counter card in Blaine's Arcanine. However, before I get to my spin, I do want to note something for the series going forward. Since we now have events that have some semblance of reporting and information surrounding them, we'll actually be splitting into 2 timelines that will reconnect at the very first ever Worlds tournament in 2002. Starting with today's episode, we'll be exploring the competitive scene of the Neo format and represent the top decks at these official events. Interlaced between each format, we'll cover some of the release of each expansion pack, with the exception of the Southern Islands, which will be explained a little bit later. This way, we can understand both the competitive scene's development, and the impact of each individual set. But with that, let's get to spinning. I do have 2 spins this week because I managed to win that best of 3 last week. Best of 3s are always a shit show. Alright, so hoping for Steelix. I would also be okay with Volcano. Okay, so the only thing I really don't want is Feraligatr. I'm going to respin here because Feraligatr would just wipe Volcano. So if Patrick does spin Feraligatr, I really don't want to be playing that. I feel like Steelix is kind of the middle ground here. Like, it's weak to Volcano, but like it can still play around it a little bit. And then yeah, Feraligatr it can kind of deal with. Feraligatr is really the standout here. Like, there's no way, like, I can't fight back against that. But unfortunately, I guess I'm gonna be playing it. So, oof, kind of an oof there. Hopefully Patrick rolled up Volcano, because if that's the case, it's gonna be a pretty quick match today, I think. If you rolled up Steelix, then, I mean, at least we get to see Steelix. I really do love Steelix strats, especially with these special metal energies early on in the game. Really beefy. So, always fun to see. But I'll build the Feraligatr deck and see you guys in Deck Builder.
Alright, so here we are with the deck list. So there's a lot going on here. There's 6 colors in this deck, which might be a problem, but we've seen a deck with like 4 or more already, and I won with that deck. And I wasn't super happy about that deck either. So, maybe? Anyway, the strategy of this deck is kind of to stall out and lock out your opponent and then kind of blow them up later on in the game. I think that's pretty doable, particularly with what we have here. So I have the Slowking core here, which we didn't really get to see a couple episodes ago, but I think that this episode we'll be able to use it a little bit better. Murkrow's not in the format, so I'm not too worried about getting completely blown out right away. If James rolls Feraligatr, then we're in a little bit of a bind, but if he rolls Steelix Beatdown, you know, we might be able to pull this out, because I don't know if he'll be able to go aggressive enough to counter our own stall strategy, and that's just gonna be a terrible episode if he does that. Anyway, but yeah, so Steelix here basically can shrug off a significant amount of damage. The ideal is to get 3 metal energies attached to him, so he resists essentially everything in the game and only takes double damage from fire type. So if James has Volcano, we'll be in a little bit of a bind there, but still with those metal energies, that provides us a little bit of wiggle room. Then we have, like I said, Slowking to kind of lock out our opponents. Rocket Zapdos is what we basically bring in to just blow up our opponent with whatever they have, essentially. 70 damage can get over most things in the format, in addition to maybe kind of whittling them down with a couple Tail Crushes or something else. Cleffa's obviously in here, great draw power. Goes without explaining. Murkrow can also help us with setup. Wooper's here in case our opponent has a Pokemon out there with really only 1 move. Then we can just Amnesia it every single turn and proceed to set up or deck out our opponent or whatever we want to do. Bronx Makey is also in here for a similar reason. It's a free swap in and then can basically just gust anything. So if he's trying to set up something on his bench that has a really high retreat cost and we kind of want to do some weird shenanigans here, we can basically gust him in, swap in Murkrow, and then just hold him steady there. So if he's got like a Slowking on the bench, that's a really good move, because Slowking doesn't really attack. It just is going to be sitting on the bench, and he doesn't really want to waste 3 turns putting energy on it just to swap him out. So we'll hold him there until we're ready, and then blow him up repeatedly. Then we have Professor Elm for draw power. Goldberry heals our Rocket Zapdos. It's incredibly important. It kind of gets rid of the downside of Electro Burn. Then Secret Mission allows us to target our opponent's hand. Warp Point, free switch. Energy Charge recurs energy from our deck that we might have discarded. Although we kind of want a lot of lightning energy in there just for Plasma to be able to get off and get a essentially 2-turn Electro Burn going. Misty's Wrath is good for the discard to, again, facilitate that Plasma. Nightly Garbage Run can bring our Pokemon back into rotation, which is what we want. Chaos Gym synergizes really well with Slowking to prevent our opponent from playing trainer cards. We actually have very little trainer cards considering what was played at this time, so that's pretty good and won't really hurt us too much. And then Eco Gym, if we want to be able to use Chaos Gym to, if we want to be able to use our trainer cards after locking our opponent out a couple of turns, we can basically bring Eco Gym in here and prevent discards from targeting our Rocket Zapdos or anything like that as well. And then just to round it out, we've got our Lightning Energy Core, we've got our Metal Energy Core. Rainbow Energy kind of facilitates as essentially anything else we could need. If we really need to get Wooper out there, we can attach a Rainbow Energy and then Amnesia, and then just throw anything else on there, and I can do Slam for a little chunk of damage. Or if we really wanted to use Slowking and we got a little bit of a bind, that's where that comes in. Recycle Energy kind of functions in a similar manner. And then that 1 Darkness Energy is in here in case we draw Murkrow. So this is an interesting deck, and I think it has a lot of staying power. And the more I look into it, the more I research it, the more comfortable I get with it. So I think we'll be able to do something really cool here. And I can't wait to see you guys in the battle.
All right, so we have our Feraligatr deck. Yeah, this deck is actually pretty genius. Normally, you look at, you have a bunch of trainer cards that allow you to search or to draw, but then you have to discard, and you think, okay, that's kind of a downside. At this point in the game, the discard pile wasn't really. It was a resource. It could be used as a resource for some decks, but this is the first deck that really uses it this effectively. Like, it's just essentially like you want everything in your discard pile that isn't a fully stacked Feraligatr, basically. So we'll go through some of the let's start with the Feraligatr line, talk about why this works, and then we can talk about some of the supporting cards. So obviously we have our Totodile, we have our Croconaut, and we have our Feraligatr. Totodile starting off kind of meh here. It's got Leer to protect itself. That's basically it. That way it doesn't die right away if it's your first Pokemon. Croconaut, this is where things start getting spicy. So Tackle, 2 energy, whatever. Sweep, 3 energy, 50 damage on a stage 1 Pokemon. Not too bad, but then it has what's supposed to be, I'm assuming, negative side effect. Obviously, this was designed with Feraligatr in mind, but you would normally consider this to be a negative side effect of discarding 3 cards from the top of your deck. Okay, so then you start stacking your graveyard with resources. What do you want in there? You want your water energy, because you get Feraligatr, and so first off, it's Pokemon Power, Downpour. As often as you like during your turn, you may discard a water energy from your hand. So this is, in theory, one of the number 1 ways to get water energy into your discard pile, especially once it's in your hand. And then Riptide does 10 damage base plus 10 damage for every single water energy in your graveyard. You've got 17 in here, you've got 3 of them on Feraligatr. Ideally, you're putting out up to 150 damage per Riptide here. And then at the end of the attack, shuffle all those energies back into your deck. How do you get that many? You're going to be constantly dumping water energy from your hand or constantly dumping cards from your deck. How do you get there? Number 1 card here, Misty's Wrath. Look at the top 7, pick 2, send the rest to the graveyard. So what we're going to want to do is play Misty's Wrath, grab a couple of trainers that allow you to, draw more, to discard more, and then let everything else go to the graveyard. One thing that's really useful here, Secret Mission. Not only does it allow you to discard as many cards as you want from your hand, so you get to keep a certain number of them, and then draw that same number of cards, but it also gives you knowledge of what your opponent has in their hand, which, as we all know with trading card games, is kind of the end-all be-all in a lot of cases. Knowing what your opponent has it's more valuable than pretty much any card that you could ask for. Or it lets you know if you're screwed. That's nice too, I guess. Trash Exchange. Count the number of cards in your discard pile, shuffle them into your deck, then discard that many cards. So let's say you finish your turn, you did 150 damage, you knocked out whatever Patrick has out there, and then we've got no water energy in our graveyard. So we've got like 12 other cards, trainers, Pokemon, what have you. We're gonna play Trash Exchange. We're gonna shuffle those 12 into our deck, discard 12. Hopefully we're hitting some water energy there, and hopefully we're recycling our trainers so we can use them again. This is why, like Patrick said in the intro, this deck doesn't really deck itself out, because it's constantly discarding, but it's also constantly recycling those cards. Nightly Garbage Run is in there, just kind of the classic recycle card, but this deck has more inventive ways to do it, because it can make use of its discard pile, which is huge. Then the last draw card here is Professor Elm. Shuffles, doesn't discard, unfortunately, but it's still a good draw card. And everything else in this deck, basically, other than we have 17 water energy, probably important. Everything else in this deck just basically exists to facilitate that. You have your Clefas in here so that you can, play in the beginning, draw, and keep recycling. Not as crucial for this deck, but if you open poorly, Cleffa is what gets you back into the game. Magby is nice. It shuts off Pokemon powers, so again, if you don't have that great of a start, you can buy yourself some time with Magby. Not to mention the baby rule applies to both of these guys, which it's a coin flip, granted, but it can be a nice little defense mechanism. Clefairy, so it basically the second attack here is what we really care about. Flip the number of coins equal to the total number of Pokemon in play. For each head, you may search your deck for a basic energy card, show it to your opponent, put it in your hand, shuffle your deck. So you can say they've got 4, you've got 3, okay. Flip seven coins for every head. Let's say you get 6 of them. Boom, 6 energy, water energy right there into your hand. And so that's how you can start stacking up your Feraligatr. You got some Whooper in here. That's how you pronounce it? Whooper? Yeah, Whooper. Basically, a little bit more stall. Mankey, and then Mankey allows you to switch your opponents. Rocket's Training Gym makes it to where retreating is more expensive. You don't really care about that. Your Feraligatr is going to be out there, hopefully one-shotting everything every single turn until your opponent manages to out it. And it makes so let's say you can't one-shot everything. It makes it that much more expensive for them to retreat their Pokemon. Next card we want to talk about here is Double Gust. Double Gust, we've seen this a ton because we don't have normal Gust. We're going to play Double Gust. Switch Pokemon around. There you go. Goldberry. Heal 4 damage in between turns. We basically want to be putting this on Feraligatr. Most other Pokemon, it's not that big of a deal. A lot of Pokemon won't even make it to 40 damage, or if they do, they're probably dead anyway. But it's going to be super helpful in increasing the lifespan of our Feraligatr, because, again, it is going to take at least 3 turns to stack up this Feraligatr, so we're not going to be seeing turn 2 things going crazy, so we don't want to end up losing Feraligatr 2 turns after we put him out there, obviously. Then I talked about everything else. So yeah, this deck it's laser focused. There's no crazy contrived scenarios that have to go down in order for the deck to work, like there was with the Crobat deck. It's very direct. It does one thing, and it does one thing very well, and that's put a bunch of crap in the graveyard and deal a ton of damage and not deck itself out, basically. So, I mean, it was the format defining for a reason. So I'm actually pretty excited to play it. Kind of hoping, honestly, that Patrick... Well, no, I was going to say I hope that Patrick got Feraligatr and we can, like, mirror match, but I feel like that would be a shit show, because whoever gets Feraligatr first at that point. So I really do hope he got Steelix, because Steelix can withstand a lot of this damage with those metal energies, with it being a big, beefy metal worm. So, again, not a hard counter for Feraligatr, but it would at least make the match interesting. If he got Feraligatr, it's just whoever can get Feraligatr first. And if he got Volcano, unless I have Brick, I have type advantage. So, what can you do? But, that being said, I am excited to play Feraligatr in its debut here on Nightmare Gaming. So, I will see you guys in the battle.
All right, James, so here we are, and this is a absolutely terrible hand.
Are you ever gonna open with something other than all right, James?
Probably not.
No,
that's kind of my call sign at this point. All right.
Oh, so you got Steelix.
I did, in fact, get Steelix.
That's spicy.
So I'm gonna go ahead and secret mission here. Oh, okay, great. So you got Feraligatr.
No, what gave that away?
Me looking at your hand and seeing all of the Feraligatr cards. Okay. So I can discard as many other cards I want from my hand and draw that many cards. Well, I should have discarded that. So I'm going to draw 2 here. Okay, well, that doesn't really help.
What'd you discard here? A Murkrow and a Metal Energy. All right.
Yeah, this does not help. So we're going to go Plasma. Ooh, we did get our neat.
Oh, yeah, you got the damage down there. That's not good for me.
No, it is not, but you're bringing out Totodile here, which I believe is weak to grass, not electric, so...
That is correct, fortunately.
Yeah, if you're weak to electric, I think you would just, like, lose. Basically.
Yeah, yes.
But
well, I mean,
not,
yours
so
is yours is technically the counter to this one, so...
Technically, it really isn't, but technically.
Of the 3, I'll eek here. Of the 3, it's the counter.
Sure. Alright, I'll put Metal Energy, or another Metal Energy, another Lightning Energy on this guy.
That's a weird looking Metal Energy, dude.
Tails. Alright.
Alright, thank goodness. So we can actually start doing things. Okay, so we're going to put a Water Energy on a Totodile here. I think we're going to open up with
here comes the Crocodile. Oh, yes, Misty's Wrath. Yes, the most overpowered card in this deck. Yep, go for it.
I wouldn't say.
It's a draw 7 as far as I'm concerned.
It's a draw 7.
I mean, let's be honest here.
We're going to do that, and... no, we're going to do that and that. We'll play this. I'm going Misty's Wrath. Oh, there it is. Okay.
Alright.
And we'll evolve. Throw Goldberry onto him. I think we'll get a Cleffa down here. Yep.
So you got Rocket's training gym, so you pay more to retreat. That's always fun.
Isn't it, though?
I wouldn't say it is, but I'm sure it's fun for you, buddy. When your opening hand is as bad as mine was, I really don't see...
Nah, your opening hand was great.
My opening hand was very bad.
Don't mess with me like that. Put Professor Elm here.
Of course you will.
Totodile.
I feel like I'm staring down the barrel of a gun right now. I'm gonna be honest.
Why do you say that? I think
okay. Well, luckily I just keep on drawing lightning energies.
That is fortunate for you.
Plasma, Tails. Cool.
Okay, I think...
So far, I'm 1 for 3 on attacking. That's really fun.
We'll throw this
The baby rule is atrocious.
The baby rule is stupid. The baby rule is terrible for the game, not gonna lie.
I mean... Yes and no.
I do not like the baby rule.
Would you rather play with the baby rule or be forced to play Paint Lock a second time?
Baby rule, 100%. Paint Lock was painful. Painful to play.
I figured.
Okay. Ow, ow, ow.
Aha! My plan is working. Get him, Boomer.
I managed to hurt myself. We're just gonna ignore that.
Good work.
Okay, what do I do here? So I think I can grab this, and I guess it doesn't matter. Yeah, I'll just grab those two. I need water energy. Okay. Water energy is important, believe it or not.
So you added a water energy, and what else did you add?
Water energy and a secret mission.
Okay, you're not supposed to tell me that, but that's okay.
Well, I'm gonna play secret mission, so.
Alright.
Ah, so there's the Steelix.
Yeah, look at my hand. Look how good it is. That's great.
Energy charge and a gold berry. That's funny. Okay. Yep. Alright, I think actually pretty happy. I'm not gonna discard anything.
You drew 0 card.
I did draw 0 cards. I chose to discard 0 cards.
I see that, yes.
Because I'm just gonna eek here. I didn't have any water energy in my hand to discard,
Plasma.
so...
Thank God.
Ah, you suck! Okay. No! No, you've drawn first blood. What am I gonna do? Whatever shall I do?
Probably a lot. I'm gonna do
right. This.
Oh God, that's Okay.
Let's get another.
Well, this has been fun.
Let's see. Okay, that's 10. You've got 70 health. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's 8, 9. So that's 90 damage.
It's a one-shot, dude. It's a one-shot. I know.
I just gotta make sure it's a one-shot. I don't want to end up, like, doing something wrong here. Yeah, I'm just gonna Riptide here. Yeah,
okay.
Card.
Alright, I'm gonna put Cleffa down here. I'm gonna Energy Charge. Put 2 of those back. Why? I hate this card, James.
What card?
I'm gonna show the audience which card I'm talking about. I really despise this card. It's always rotting in my hand. I always brick with it. It's supposed to be good.
What is it? I'm so curious now as to what it is.
If I draw the 3rd one, I'm literally gonna scream though.
Trash exchange. What do I have in my graveyard? Alright, I've got 3 of them in my graveyard now.
But you did dunk 2 of them though, so that's really good.
Yeah, I didn't top deck trash exchange.
Oh, you've been sitting on it. Oh, cool.
Yeah,
excellent. Good to see.
I did top deck trash exchange, but I already had one in my hand, so let me put it that way.
Okay.
Okay, so let's see. You've got a gold berry, so you're gonna heal all 40 damage. Alright, I think I'm gonna throw water energy onto Croconaw, and then Professor Elm here. Yeah, I'll just Riptide. Get rid of that gold berry. The Cleffa! Okay. You've got a Cleffa. Are you serious right now?
Yep.
Why are you the way you are?
What do you want a work point for, buddy?
I'm putting my Cleffa out there. Cleffa versus Cleffa.
I see. Alright, go.
Did it go through? Oh, you didn't have any energy to play. Are you struggling over there, bud?
Yes.
Yes.
This I think I've just drawn like the worst cards I could have possibly drawn in my deck back to back. So, yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna trash exchange here. What do I got in there? 4 of them. Okay.
Like I had something going, but you cleffed like 4 times in a row. Like, what am I supposed to do?
I mean, you're not wrong. To be fair, you're not.
Yeah, I mean, it happens. It's how the game goes sometimes. But yeah.
All right, let's get some energy on Cleffa here.
Yeah, go for it. There you go.
We'll retreat into Relegator, and let's see if the Riptide gets through. No, it does not.
All right, my saving grace
is the baby. Rule.
Oh, that's good. That's finally. I get something.
I'm happy for you.
Okay.
Riptide. Nope.
Ah.
Oh, another Cleffa. So this game is extended specifically because of the baby rule.
Yes. Oh, okay. And we'll eat again. Yay!
Oh no, it went through.
I've got like the 1 out to your for alligator in my hand now, which is good news.
That is good news. Riptide? Thank God.
All right.
Oh, fuck, another Cleffa. What the hell, dude? What is this?
What? Not enough energy to retreat. Oh
yep, not enough energy to retreat because of Rocket's training chip.
Oh my God. All right, go.
The one.
You're so happy.
Being
The Rockets. Yes.
You're just gonna fucking amnesia me.
Yes.
That's fantastic. Oh lord. Okay. Alright, I need to get some stuff in my graveyard, so we'll trash exchange here. Alright, like it's Elm. Oof. Yeah, that's a thing. That's a thing. Alright, a Riptide. Nope. Can't believe the Whooper. The Whooper will be the death of me.
Yes.
Professor Elm and a 7 card. Oh, the Steelix, the namesake, finally comes out.
Yes, go. I mean, I'm perfectly fine with just Cleffa sitting here.
Of course you are. It works perfectly fine.
It's a pretty good wall.
Yeah, it's super annoying. Yep, there you go. Well, okay. We're just gonna sit here while you stack up because apparently I can't freaking flip heads. This is the story. This is the story of the history of the Pokemon TCG. Just me sitting here. Can I flip heads this turn?
It's okay. The audience has been able to see me click at least 4 or 5 times, and the game say, "You cannot do that."
That makes me feel a little bit better.
Okay. All right. We'll go ahead and put this on Steelix here, so that Steelix is at least ready to go.
That's fair.
Amnesia. Go.
Ooh. Okay, so how does that work?
So you cannot use Riptide this turn.
Okay. That's kind of a dick move, not gonna lie.
Well, you know, I gotta stem the bleeding somehow, I have to say.
Alright, what do I do here? What do I do, Patrick?
I mean, your option is to put an energy on Feraligatr and retreat, basically. Into, like, Crocodile and then one-shot my Wooper.
And Misty's Wrath.
Like, realistically, that's what you do.
Jesus, are you kidding me?
Did you... Please tell me you're dumping all of your trash exchanges here or something.
No. So, I have 3 Double Gust in here.
Uh-huh.
I'm pretty sure my 3 remaining face down prize cards are all Double Gusts. Pretty sure.
Awesome. Good to hear.
Misty's Wrath.
Okay.
Alright. Good news.
A second Misty's Wrath. That's interesting. So, did you draw the other Feraligatr off of Misty's Wrath, is the question. Yes. The answer is yes.
The answer is yes, I did. Alright, how
Fair
many?
enough.
1, 2, 3, 4. That's 40 damage. That's what I need.
A timeout allowance was consumed to add 60 seconds to turn time. I might win because James isn't act.
Shut up.
Okay.
Well, so here's the thing. Oh, what the hell? I did not mean to click that, but whatever.
You used your double gust.
I know, I didn't mean to use my Double Gust.
Oh, why am I an idiot?
That's the problem.
Bringing out Brock's Mankey here. Big move, big move.
I did not. I expected you to bring out Crocodile. Did not expect you to bring out Cleffa. So I'm just gonna retreat.
That would have made a lot more sense, but that's okay.
And then I'll Riptide here.
Okay. Wooper. Slip
Yeah,
up.
naturally.
Zapdos. We will Amnesia the Riptide again.
That's rude. I don't know why you would do that.
Because.
Trash exchange. It puts. Yep, that's more than enough.
Yeah, I mean, you will be able to cycle all of your water energies at this point. Your deck is only 6, and your discard is 20. I'm pretty confident in your ability to be able to get consistent damage at this point. Okay.
I'll Riptide here.
How? I Amnesia. What?
I retreated into the other Feraligatr.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, like, that doesn't make any sense.
Can this Steelix, the namesake of the deck, hold out against a fully stacked Feraligatr? It does have a Goldberry. Well, that is a scary Onyx art. What the heck? Show the audience this Onyx art. That's terrifying.
Yeah, this Onyx is pretty swag. So the interesting thing is when you use a Recall on a Steelix, you can actually use Rage and just do a crap ton of damage. Recall's a trainer. It allows you to use... It basically gives you Kingdra's genetic memory ability. So,
Gotcha.
Put an energy on Murkrow here this turn, because why not? Bring out another Zapdos, because, again, why not? And we'll go for the Tail Crush. You only get 30 damage. Alright, James. Can you take out Steelix?
Mind Games works as printed in Unlimited. In other formats, it only works while Slowking is active. Okay, when your opponent plays a penetrating coin, your opponent's a coin.
James is now reading the card that has been in the format for months now.
Yeah, but this is the first time we've actually gotten to see it, to be fair.
Okay.
yeah,
Basically, it means you win the game if you play this card. That's what it says on the text. Don't bother reading it.
Trash exchange.
Of course.
So that gives me
I'm expecting nothing less.
40 damage. You're reduced by 20, so that's 20 damage. Plus you have a Goldberry.
Can I win by you just getting really bad trash exchanges, drawing only Misty's Wrath, and then decking yourself out? That would be really funny.
I'm secret mission here. That's your hand.
Don't sound so upset.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Some 5 water
That's
energy.
your hand?
Don't you do what, 130 damage?
I think so. You're really trying to go for the one-hit KO.
I'm trying so hard.
You're trying so hard for it.
Unfortunately, with that Professor Elm, I did not get any more water energy, so it's not gonna work. So, I guess I'll just Riptide here. Yeah. Deal 110 damage and have it reduced down to 50 between the metal energies and the gold berry.
Yep. I'll play
What
one
new
point.
active? Oh. Can I not?
No, you have to.
Fight me.
Okay. Bring out
Murkrow. Ooh, mean look. Okay. I can get behind that. Did it work?
Yep.
You got heads. It did work. Alright, nice. Alright, we'll get
Another one! The fact that I've held on this long is impressive to me, at least. Is this, James, I have to ask, is this what it felt like when you guys played against me in progression?
Dude, yes, you were playing solitaire, just cycling through your deck every single turn, and we're just like, dude, just do your 12 freaking moves so you can deal 100 damage every turn. This is stupid.
It was a good time.
not for us.
Yeah, that was when I first started doing research into the actual game.
I
got
eat.
better. Okay, so you eat. So the question is, do you have... Your double gust has been used. There's another double gust in there. So you're telling me that you think that that third card is your other double gust. As far as I know, you don't have any other ways of swapping me out. So still not enough. But if you have a single water energy in your hand, you will be able to knock me out.
This is where we get to play math while playing Pokemon. You just mean look with the heads.
Yep.
That'll do it, sir. That'll do it. Annoyingly enough.
I figured. Okay. Do I continue to play with fire?
I mean, technically, you're playing... There's no fire there, but... I have fire.
Okay, I'm gonna put it on Cleffa. Bring Cleffa out. I'll discard that. Go ahead and eek. Okay. Well, this doesn't... I don't think that really is gonna save me from losing here, but... It was an attempt. It was an attempt.
An attempt was made. Now we're just back down to the baby rule work.
Yeah, yep. Can you knock out my Cleffa? Nope.
Nope, I can't knock out the Cleffa, because why the heck would I be able to knock out
Nightly
the Cleffa?
garbage run. I'm gonna grab cards to shuffle back into my deck.
As one does.
Okay, I'm gonna dump those back.
Yep, that's fair.
I will Elm.
We're back to having the same deck
Still
size
doesn't really help me. Okay, so here's the thing. Do I just go for it and hope you flip tails 7 times in a row? And you deck out? Or do I play the game? Because you have plenty of water in there to knock me out at this point.
Yeah, I can one-shot pretty much anything you put out there at this point.
Yeah.
Except for Cleffa, then it's a coin flip, but then I can one-shot you.
Well, we're gonna go and bring out Steelix here and just we're just gonna we're assuming that the game's probably over at this point. Go for the Tail Crush.
Ah, I healed
As
off the Tail
expected.
Crush.
You did heal off the Tail Crush, but you know what? I feel like I did something.
That's fair. That's fair. Okay, so how do I want to do this?
You can literally just attack and win.
I could, but I don't want to do that.
Okay. So this is where, in editing, I cut out everything you do from here and just have you attack.
No, not work. You're not here. Alright, so that's 10, 80, 91, 140, and I think I'll just Riptide.
Alright, and that's the game, and that is the power of the Gator.
That is... Okay, this deck is stupid.
I told you, I feel like I'm staring down the barrel of a gun just looking at what you had, because my hand was I honestly would have been better at building churches than playing this game with the hand that I opened with. Oh my gosh, it was terrible. Like, literally, almost nothing you could have opened with would have made me win that game. Like, unless you had specifically Brock's Mankey and didn't draw any draw cards or any other Pokemon.
Yeah,
like,
that would have been.
That's
difficult.
about it. Which is never gonna happen. I barely got Brock Steelix out. I had 2 Slokings in my hand just sitting there for most of the game. And it's supposed to be a power card, and it didn't do anything. So I don't know. It's frustrating from my perspective because like your deck is just so powerful that there's very little I can do against it. I did manage to take 1 Cleffa, but like by then you'd already gotten the advantage from it. You got the utility out of it.
Yeah, well, and I don't know if you've noticed this either, but every single game I play, the first Pokemon I put out there is generally set up, and it stays out there until it dies.
Yeah. Whereas like I consecutively have opened 0 Cleffas. I don't think I've opened a single Cleffa.
Oh, you've opened Cleffas
I don't think I've opened
since we hit
Cleffas.
Neo.
No, maybe 1 game, but like it almost never seems even okay. If I do, it never works. It doesn't work out for me. So, because I really haven't been able to experience the awesome might of Elm into Cleffa.
Well, okay, first off, Elm into Cleffa isn't that good because you're locked out with the rest of your trainers.
Yeah, but if I trainer Elm and then I dump a bunch of basic Pokemon, then Cleffa.
Yeah, I mean if you're dumping
You know.
basic Pokemon, but I mean not
That's
if you're
the
trying
dream.
Yeah. So what made this as a 20-some minute battle was Baby Rule.
Oh yeah, I just stalled out. I
Like-
stalled out, used my stall pieces to just kind of hold on there. I mean, I knew pretty much from like the 10-minute mark I was gonna lose. I don't think there's any. Any question about
I
that.
was a little concerned when you brought up Murkrow.
Yeah, well, see, here's the thing. Like, eventually you're gonna trash exchange to get those double gusts back, right?
But here's the thing. So I would rather sit on Cleffa because if I double gusted, you're gonna bring out my Feraligatr, which is gonna cost 4 energy to retreat.
Yeah, but that's eventually, right? You can it's set up in advance that Feraligatr just retreat and kill. You know,
I could.
because I can't hurt you, and you can't hurt. Well, okay, hold on. Let me see. Okay, well I didn't need a mean look every single fucking turn. God, I didn't need a mean look every turn. I could have just mean looked once, which I did, and then just sat there and fade attacked and picked apart your board. Oh my, I'm so dumb.
As long as Murkrow remains your active Pokemon.
Yep. I had the energy for it too. Okay. Well, that could have gone differently if I had read my cards, but you know me. Come on.
Yeah, that's fair. And yeah, no, that would have been I mean, at that point, I do double gust just because like otherwise.
You just have to. You really have to get Murkrow out of there. But anyway, I think that was a fun game. I think we kind of demonstrated Feraligator's power, and I can't wait to play him next episode, James. So, if you guys like this series, please like and subscribe down below, and then check us out on Twitch at Nightmow Media. We do play Progression on Thursdays, but we are taking a little bit of a break in case you guys haven't noticed, and we will be back next week. So, take it easy, guys.
Have a good week, guys.